Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. What's going on, everybody? This your boy Doc Holiday. We are back with another HBC Overdrive live stream. It is HBCU tonight. If you haven't done it by now, make sure that you like this stream. Make sure that you comment, share, and most of all, subscribe. Subscribe. Make sure you become a member of the hottest HBCU podcast that's out right now. And also, make sure if you want to become a member of the Overdrive family, just hit that join button. We have two tiers. We got the Overdrive blue and we got the Overdrive purple. You get everything exclusive. Get everything that comes up before polls, tech, whatever you want. You get it all before anybody else. I want to see how many people in here. How you doing, Mr. Quay? How you doing? As always, making sure that we are good to go. Miss Mary from the 305. How you doing? Mr. Martin, how you doing, Mr. Martin? How you doing today? How you doing today? We get everybody in here. We got 14. Let's see if we can try to get this number up to at least about let's see if we get about 30 people up in here. If we get 30 people to get in here, we can try to get it going. Um, First off, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for actually tuning in on Thursday night with Coach Thornton. She was a real big blessing to come on the show as always. A big contributor to the podcast. Also, for those who I did have a show on Friday, but I was on the show with Kobe, aka Bliss City Podcast, with his panel doing FBS Fridays. So I thank him for getting me on there, talking about FBS sports. Because I am a sports head. I'm pretty much a sports head to get everybody on there. We talked about, different things. One thing that kind of had me cracking up is when somebody asked the question about is Texas, does University of Texas, are they the best team in college football? Do they have the best team in college football? And I specifically said, hell no. Hell no. They do not have the best team in college football. And I'm gonna stick by that. I'm a I'm a stay with that until the day that I leave this planet. But we got a lot to cover today, and the first thing we're gonna do is just gonna see how many people are, who else is coming in, make sure who else is coming in. See who else we got right here. Cedric, what's going on? What's going on, Uncle Sid? Hey, you doing, Shay? How you doing? How you doing? We're gonna put this in here and see what we get for if Mr. Ford will come on tonight. Um, I know a lot of people don't want to really talk about Ja Morant, but I want to talk about it. What's going on, Mr. Edwin? What's good? What's good, man? Um, Nobody don't want to talk about Ja Morant, but that's one of the things I want to talk about because it has we got to talk about this because this can impact our athletes, our players that are in the HBCU world. So I want to get a good panel up here today. So if anybody want to come up here and speak their piece about the whole situation, um, we can go ahead and get that going. But first, let me get this banner right here. First and foremost, y'all, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers near and far. I want to. I didn't get a chance to say it yesterday because we didn't do a show yesterday. I wanted everybody to be pretty much with their families, with their mothers, with their loved ones. And if you didn't have, if your loved one has gone on to transition to uh, the afterlife, uh, basically, I want to make sure that we give our respects to those who have um, moved on from us within body and spirit. So, let's see if I can get some up in here. If I get a picture. See if I can find something up in here. But other than that, how was everybody's Mother's Day? How was everybody's Mother's Day over the weekend yesterday? Put it in the comment. Put it in the chat. Tell me how everybody's Mother's Day was yesterday, man. Let's see if I can find. But other than that, let me see. But yeah, I still want to do something. Trying to get something. It was a beautiful day. Thank you. It was everybody had a good day. Everybody had a beautiful day. The missus here, unfortunately, she had a good day, but unfortunately, she had COVID. So we were stuck in the house. She was stuck in the bed, but I think she's getting over it. And we was quarantined, so pretty much I was sleeping on the couch. Oh yeah, that does exemplify that. Um, but everything is okay. Everything she's good. She is um pretty much. That's old pictures right there. Oh yeah, she's getting well. She's getting well. She's getting better. So it's one of those times where um kind of have to just cool, chill, and what I'm saying, just get better. That's all it is, just to get better, just to get better. But anyway, I this is something I want to do right here. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to the queen of the house. She's looking at me like, whatever, dog, whatever. You ain't gotta be buttering up nobody because you had Mother's Day and everything. And our anniversary was on Friday, so no Saturday. Saturday. My bad. Saturday. Don't. You know what I mean? Going on, Dr. Love. But I also want to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom. my mom, my twin, my road dog, my road dog, Miss Angie Smith. So this is my mother right here. She has done everything for me. To the best of her ability, to the best of her knowledge. She has whooped my ass out of the penitentiary. So I am pretty much she has done every this woman has done everything for me, even during my during my dark days. Um so even during my dark days, she has been A1 with me from the jump. So man, we had that is my mom, and we took this picture. We took this picture last year at homecoming. My mom never been to a Jackson State homecoming. Last year was her first year going. She enjoyed it. She is says I know she's gonna tell me she wants to go again. So we gonna try to make that happen, and we gonna try to get some big things going on. Okay. But that is my mother right there. That's my road dog right there. That is the woman who gave me birth. That is the one, like I said, whooped my ass out of the penitentiary. Um, and I'm happy that she has done that. Because if not, then I won't be here. Just be honest with you, I won't be here. I'll probably be somewhere running around Dallas, not doing nothing. But knowing her, she gave me the work ethic. She gave me the game about how to do things around the house, how to you know be um, how to have fun. That's what my mama taught me how to do, y'all. That's what she taught me how to do. You know, I went to the point where I called my you know my ex wife, who has we have a my youngest daughter together, and she I told her Happy Mother's Day, even though sometimes I hate her guts, but we're not gonna go there. And then I called my oldest daughter mother, and you know told her Happy Mother's Day, make sure everything good. And then I had to call my best friend 20 years, 20 plus years, and she is my youngest baby's godmother. Told her Happy Mother's Day, but yeah, Dr. Love, yes, I'm from the cliff. I ain't got no grill in my mouth, but I am from the cliff, man. I am from Oak Cliff, Texas, baby. Born and raised. Proud of it too. But get back to my best friend. She lost her mother last year, so this is her first year without her mother celebrating Mother's Day. So, I made sure that she was fine, make sure that she was okay. Um, yeah, because that's what best friends do. That's what best friends do. You know, best friend talked me out of a ledge one time. Not out of the ledge, but just talked me out of not doing something stupid. And that's what that's what you got best friends for. That's what you have best friends for. So I commend her because she has been a good role model to my daughter, my youngest daughter, um and I just I'm very appreciative of what's going on, of what she does for you know for me and my and my baby girl. But before we get to it, man, we gonna hit this commercial break right here. Uh, this podcast, the show, this channel has been sponsored by WeWorkForEverything.com.org. My bad. WeWorkForEverything.org. So let's pay attention to this commercial. HBCU Overdrive is proudly sponsored by WeWorkForEverything.org. At WeWorkForEverything.org, this is for those who are trying to build for a dream with their latest hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and accessories and more. You can have it all here at a reasonable price. Black owned and operated out of the great state of New York. Like I said, get suited and booted. Check it out at WeWorkForEverything.org. Peace. And we are back, and we are back, and we are back, and we are back. Yes, we are back. So look, we're gonna go. I just saw this on Twitter. Ron DeSantis, the Ron the Satan, that's what I'm gonna call him. I don't care what anybody say. Don't care anybody know what, get back to my employer about this or not. Signs the anti-DEI bill in Florida. Diversity, inclusion, diversity, equity. This bill is pretty much a bill to just say, look, we just gonna go back to the old days. And it's no sugarcoating it. It's no beating around the bush. We just gonna go back to the old days. We're gonna go back to where we gonna teach you what our pretty much our history. We gonna you don't get a chance to take a African American course at a university. Why? Because they don't matter. They don't matter. But if I know, like, let's put it into the broad perspective of an athlete, right? You got this bill. Let's say I can't do African American studies. I can't study about the Latinos. I can't study about this, that, and the third. I will do a whole disservice to the University of Florida, Florida State, UCF, USF, Miami, FAU, FIU. I would do them a whole disservice, giving them middle finger and say, I'll go to this HBCU down the road. I'll go to Florida Memorial. I'll go to Edward Waters. I'll go to Florida A&M. I'll go to Bethune-Cookman. And see what type of love that you would get from people that look like you. That's what I would do. I would do that. I would tell them, give them the middle finger. Because it's basically like saying, affirmative action. We don't care. That's what you're getting. That's what you're getting. This is what you get when you don't go out there and do yourself the service of voting for somebody that, not saying that looks like you, but that is for you. I'm talking about a man that basically went to try to go to battle. What up, Craig Hall? You talking about a man that's trying to go to battle with Disney. Disney is a freaking conglomerate. For real. Disney is a conglomerate. And you trying to scrap up with Mickey Mouse. Who does who does shit like that? DeSantis does. Who does that? So if I'm all the HBCUs in Florida, if I'm all the HBCUs from Florida, I'm telling every school, I'm telling every kid, hey, come to us. Come to us. And if they want to be out of Florida, I'm telling every other HBCU in other states, hey, we'll give you a discount if you come to our school. Mm-hmm. Just because we give DeSantis the middle finger. But that's what he's really doing right now. That's what he's really doing. Ron DeSantis is pretty much giving everybody in Florida the middle finger. That's all it is. That's all he doing. He's giving everybody the middle finger. And this is a man that's trying to run for president. Just think if he runs for president and he wins and that type of power that he wields, what's going to happen to this country? Not just his state, not just Florida, but this whole country. I'm trying to cook. Wow. Man, hey, Craig, I'm gonna tell you what Disney owns. Disney owns ABC. Disney owns ESPN. Disney owns Universal Studios. Disney owns Disney World, Disneyland. Has the whole movie market on lock. Disney is a freaking conglomerate. And if you take Disney out of Florida, bro, what is Florida? Who want to go to Florida other than to Miami to go to the beach? Let's just be real about it. Let's just be real about it. Disney owns everything. Disney is your biggest tourist pit stop altogether. Altogether. Come on now. Come on now. If I'm them folk, or I'm people in Florida, I'll be marching on Tallahassee right now. Not right now, right now. How my grandma used to say it. My great grandma used to say it like that. Right now. I'll be marching on the Capitol right now. And then the quote that he said, hold on, let me see if I can pull this up, y'all. Let me see if we can pull this up. And another thing, shout out to all the graduates. Shout out to all the new graduates that graduated this past weekend. Shout out to all those graduates, the new graduates who graduated this weekend. It's time for it, it's time to do the work. It's time for your voice to be heard. Now you are going to be a productive member of society. So if it's me, man, I'm telling DeSantis, like, give me the middle finger. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I'm about to share this, y'all. We gonna look at this because this is irritating. Yes, ma'am. Shout out to the class of 2023.
There's a lot of interest in faculty around the country, and not like conservative faculty across the board, because I think there's a recognition that this whole framework has been very intellectually oppressive. People feel like they're walking on eggshells, that they say the wrong thing, they can be blackballed. That's not a healthy environment. They don't believe that they have the freedom to speak their minds on a lot of these university campuses. And so they see a college like New College or a system like Florida going in the other direction where we're welcoming that debate. There's a lot of people that are going to be interested in that. So I'm excited about the prospects of our university presidents recruiting great talent to come to our universities here in the state of Florida.
Yeah, that's one bit right there. But here's another one. He's um
race theory, other types of DEI infused courses and majors. Florida's getting out of that game. If you want to do things like gender ideology, go to Berkeley, go to some of these other places. That's fine. It's fine. And there's nothing, if that's what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that per se. But for us, with our tax dollars, we want to focus on the classical mission of what a university is supposed to be. We don't want to be diverted into a lot of these niche subjects that are heavily politicized. We want to focus on the basics. And I think what you've seen as these types of majors and course, first of all, how employable are you with some of these majors? I mean, really, it's not a good academic choice in terms of being able to be employable. That's one of the reasons I think this whole student loan thing, universities should be on the hook for the student loans. If that were the case, they would make sure that their curriculum was really fit to be productive for the students when they graduated. They wouldn't have the luxury of doing a lot of this stuff if they were on the hook. Instead, they're perfectly happy for someone to go to school for 5 or 6 years, take out huge amounts of loans, get a degree that's not worth the paper it's printed on. The university doesn't suffer. In fact, the university has benefited from that because they've gotten more tuition money. So we need to change those incentives. But as it stands now, we are going to have traditional education. We want courses and majors that have high return on investment. And we think that that's something that's very, very important. Some of the
basically what this man is saying is and it's pretty much to most black people, to me, it's most black people, nigga, you gonna get you you're gonna get you a major that's gonna go and make me some money. It's not gonna make you money, it's gonna make me money. It's the craziest thing just to hear something like that, y'all. Like, if you want to find a gender, telling somebody to go to Berkeley, okay, they'll go to Berkeley. They'll go to Berkeley. But watch your numbers decrease. Watch your enrollment decrease. Just be real. You sign this bill today. Watch your enrollment decrease from your universities, especially your Floridas, Florida states, Central Florida, South Florida, Miami's, Florida Atlantic, Florida International, Nova Southeastern, Barry University, Full Sail. Watch. I'm bet my bottom dollar, y'all. Watch your Jacksonville University. Watch your enrollment decrease because you telling a kid, well, you can't study African American studies because it's not going to be profitable when you get out of school. Come on, man. That's man, you know what? Y'all know what? That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Excuse my language, y'all, but that is the dumbest shit I ever heard. And it's crazy. They not gonna go modest. They not gonna go away. They're not gonna go away. It is crazy. They're not gonna go away. They is here. They is trying to be here because they want to bring this take the country back to being what it was before we came into the play. Bring it back. Turn it white. Miami's I know Miami, Mr. Harris, I know Miami is I know Miami is private. Um Jacksonville University is private. Stetson, I think, is private. All right, these are just basic rights. These are basic rights to a student that says, I want to learn something other than general studies. I want to learn something other than interdisciplinary studies. I want to learn something other than just regular history. I want to learn something else besides, just with kids want to do stuff that they want to do. And for you to just needle it down to just like basic bullshit, I don't know, man. This is a touchy subject, y'all. And I want people, if anybody wants to come up and just speak their piece, you don't have to put your face on the camera, but you can just speak your piece on, on the show and let people know what's up. I think it will get the it will get the ball rolling on trying to stop somebody like this man right here. But I just gotta say, man, look, if I'm a kid that's going to school in Florida and they're trying to suppress your right to choose whatever major that you want to learn, I'm going somewhere else. If I'm an African American kid, if I'm a Latino kid, I'm like, look, I'd rather go to a HBCU. I'd rather go to a HBCU before I go anywhere else. And if you think about moving out of Florida, trying to find somewhere else to go, so if I'm gonna use other schools, I'll try to take advantage. Like, hey, you can learn this here and not be judged because it's what it is. It's judging. It's judging. And guess what? We about to be in a presidential cycle right now. After this year, next year, we vote. You know, president's coming up, governorship is coming up, mayors, whatever, they all coming up. I say vote them out. Got to vote them out. They're not for us. They against us. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this. Right. We'll keep an eye out on this right here. Because I want to try to dive more into this at a later time. But we're going to go ahead and get on to the subject of tonight, which is it over for Ja Morant? Is it over for Ja Morant? As y'all know, Ja Morant is basically the point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies. All NBA point guard, all-star, explosive, exciting player, um, gravitates to the youth, pretty much got it out of the mud with his dad being the one who trained him. But it ain't been a smooth sailing for Ja Morant, especially this season for him. Found, waving a gun on Instagram live. And people seeing that, especially like I said, our youth seeing that, the youth are seeing that, especially the youth that actually follow this kid right here. I'm gonna call him a kid because that's really what he still is. He's still a kid. He's still a kid. You gotta be responsible. You gotta hold yourself accountable. Um, he goes on a sabbatical. He basically says, I need to get my head straight. He ain't thinking straight. Also, that first time they showed the video of him at the strip club, which to me, I'm like, the club, whoever did put that out there, the club, you're dumber than a box of rocks. So basically, get ready for a lawsuit on that. So the first video was older. So that video came out a couple of months ago. I say like, and he got suspended from the league for either 8 games or 10 games. Everything he went to therapy, I guess, to get all the stuff off his chest. Because y'all gotta understand, he's still a kid. He's still 20, he's 23 years old. He's still a kid. So everything gets smoothed over. He comes back, gets smoothed over, water under the bridge. Don't matter. Okay, they get put out of the playoffs by the Lakers, by LeBron. And he basically is saying, he really, he missed out on getting a supermax deal because he didn't make all first team all NBA. But he goes on Instagram Live again in a car, waving a gun again. You just got suspended the first time for waving the waving the burner on Instagram. The dude who was videoing, who was recording him, was trying to, I guess he was trying to be cool and like, oh nah man, come on. And then you got Ja in the background saying, I don't care. I don't give a F. While he in the car flashing a piece. And got young boy in the background. Listen to young boy. Listen to NBA young boy in the background. So now, this incident, he is suspended from all team activities. What's going on, brother Bakari? Hey, brother Bakari, I need you to come up on here for a second because I want to talk about this. And understandably so, I know about, exercising Second Amendment rights. But this is something that I found out yesterday. If everybody was on my guy BJ Jones of Inside HBCU Football, he did a Twitter space yesterday. Shout out to my boy BJ. And somebody came on there and he read off something in the bylaws for the NBA, right? And basically what the bylaws said was if a player has a gun, owns a gun, the player has to let the team know that they have a weapon. The player has to let the team know. The player has to let the league know. The player has to let the players association know that yes, I have a licensed, registered weapon for my protection or for sport. And the reason why they did that, the reason why they put it in the Constitution, the NBA Constitution, is because they were trying to get away and they were trying to save face from what happened between Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton over in DC when they were with the Wizards. It's the Gilbert rule. Now the difference between Gilbert Arenas and what you see with Ja Morant is Gil was on the actual property with the weapons in hand. Ja was in his car flashing it on Instagram. So as a player, you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful about your surroundings, about who you with and where you at. Because guess what? That video from off of Instagram Live is on the internet forever. It don't come off. You can't get no magic eraser and erase that shit. You can't get no bleach and no chlor. You can't get none of that stuff to erase that stuff. It is on the internet forever. Everybody, and trust me, yes, everybody has a gun in Memphis, and we I know we had talked about this yesterday. Everybody has a gun in Memphis, but the thing about it is, you the face of the franchise. You are the face of the franchise, and because you're the face of the franchise, and your employer has sponsors, it's going to have a ripple effect with those sponsors. I'm not saying that he don't. I'm not saying that he can't own the gun, the weapon. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not saying anything like that. He's a grown man, but he's still a kid to us. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is, don't put yourself in a situation where you lose out on everything that you work for. And that's another question right there. If everybody has a gun, why flash it? Why flash it? And then, like I said, you're in the city of Memphis. You're in the city of Memphis. It just even had, what I'm saying, Dolph just got murdered. What, 2 years? Big 2 years coming up. Dolph, his, it, he just got 2 years ago. Gun violence. And all I'm saying is, the antics are going to be the antics that you're doing is going to be the end all be all for your career. The antics are is going to be the death knell of your career. The things I'm saying is like this. The reason why I'm talking about it like this, because I want to put it um in a sense to our student athletes at our institutions, at our HBCUs, right? What you see right there, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. My whole thing about this is somebody, an OG, because I'm gonna tell you just like this. I don't think his dad, T Morant, is going to sit him down and say, "Stop acting like a dumbass. You're making my family name look. You're trashing my family name." But an OG, to kids nowadays, would sit them down. Back in our day, OG would sit us down and be like, hey, whatever you doing, especially you play sports, you smart, and you ain't in the game like that, and look at you be like, hey, you can't do that stupid shit. But what you saying, Big B, is like he did nothing illegal. It's not saying that he did nothing illegal, but you're the face of the Memphis franchise. There's more Ja Morant jerseys than Desmond Bain jerseys hanging in at stores. There's more Ja Morant jerseys than Dylan Brooks jerseys that's hanging in stores. How you doing, Mr. Ford? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm
You
doing
doing all
good.
right?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I had I want to say a eventful weekend, but it was a good weekend.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Anytime we living, it's a couple of kids. Shoot.
But
Uh,
we talked about Ja Morant.
yeah, the kids told me about it today. Uh, I'm gonna say it like this, Doc.
Uh-huh.
We are people like John Morant are a reflection of the parents. I mean, a lot of people get mad when you say that, but all I thought about when the kids were talking to me today about him and what he's did is, where was the parenting? You got a $200 million contract and you acting like this. Um, he's got to he's got to make up his mind. We can do intercessory prayer for him and pray for him and all of that, but he got to change his ways. To me, I mean, ain't but one word to say, but he's lawless. And in this country, you know what they do to lawless brothers. You know what they do to us. I heard you talking about that DeSantis, man. I always remember one thing about these politicians. They are nothing but puppets of the rich families and these multinational corporations.
Right.
When they get ready to take down DeSantis, they will. They will. Same thing with Trump. The multinational corporations and the rich families on Wall Street put him in office. He got in there and started doing his own thing instead of following the script, and they took him out. And so I really don't spend a whole lot of time worrying about them politicians, because I know that a lot of them are nothing but a lot of talk. And like I said, when you look at American society, a lot of people don't understand we talk about democracy and we talk about voting and all that, but what we don't look at is the economic side of it. Right. And you have to understand the people who run this country are them families like the Rockefellers, the Gettys, the what's that guy named Buffett, them rich families over there in Europe. That's the top layer of society. And basically what that guy's doing, DeSantis is doing, that dude is trying to bring on chaos and confusion. Some of that stuff that he's saying, just like I wanted Blue to be on here tonight. That guy that's the coach at Auburn, that was the coach at Auburn. What's his name? Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah.
That stuff he said, that's sedition. Not only is that sedition, that dude is pushing up race riots, and he act like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think he gonna get what he want. Because that I want to ask Blue, is that how all of your Auburn head football coaches talked? Is that how Shook Jordan talked? Is that how Pat Dye talked? Is that how Doug Barfield and all them? Because this guy here, he reminds me. Do you remember the white citizens councils of the 50s and 60s?
Yeah, I remember we did.
That's what he sounds like. He's white citizens counts. That's like you were saying about going back to the old days. That's what he's talking. He's talking the way they talk in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s when they said they weren't gonna have civil rights and all that kind of stuff. But they didn't stop nothing, you
Right.
know. But yeah, this Morant kid is he's to me personally, I think he's out of control. He's reminiscent of a lot of our children. He does not understand that like Bobby Brown said back in the 80s, my prerogative. You're a fool if you believe that.
Yeah.
You're a fool if you think it's your prerogative. You will end up in that grave or in a jail somewhere. You got them white folks' laws and then you got God's laws. Okay? And you're gonna follow them. You're gonna follow them now. Okay. But it's I hate it for I love to see him play. And like I said, I know a lot of people get mad when we say this, but like you said, if he's not a child in body, he's a child in mind because he's being very childish. But like I say about these children are a reflection of the adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother Bakari, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Doc? What's going on, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing, brother Picard?
Good. Hey, you know something? You right. You say, where were the parents? His mama got to arguing with somebody in the store. You know what the parents was? She picked up the phone and called her son, Ja Morant, and say, somebody up here arguing with me. He come up there with 8 friends to the store wanting to fight. So, when you say it's a reflection, yeah. Now, the NBA had their policy about guns on private property. I don't own their property anyway.
Right.
I don't know, but him steady flashing guns after just getting in trouble for that, I think that's stupid. But hey, who am I? I'm 51. What the young folks say, I'm too old. I don't understand them. They don't want to listen to me. So what I have done is, man, I'm gonna be honest. I done just hung my head up. Okay, well, y'all, I'm being honest because I ain't got time to be arguing with them. They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. They think stuff has changed. And I tell people all the time, ain't nothing changed but technology. If it has changed, black people wouldn't be in the same position we was in the 40s. At the bottom of the barrel, politically, economically, socially, and any other LLY word you can think of. But that's our predicament. Now, when you was talking politics, I missed, but I heard Mr. Ford just touch on the DeSantis, what he cut he don't want him to teach about the Holocaust, right? I'm gonna tell you something. He spoke on Auburn old coach Tuberville.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Auburn got now. Look and see how black players gonna still go because he's at Auburn and got a show. We can go to the NFL. Look and see how black players was complaining about how his treatment of black players. Oh, it's been a lot of reports on him. His treatment of black players. They say minority players, but what minority is really playing football? Really, you'll find a Samoan every now and then. But for the most part, who is it? It's black folk. But they got, and you say they calling for a race war. I'm being honest with you. I believe they calling for it. I believe it would be one. I don't like to say black folks scared, but I say black people ain't preparing. That's why they do what they do and constantly show it on TV. They want to keep fear in you, the way they did and everybody knew this dude in New York. For people who knew something was wrong with him mentally, he was mentally handicapped. They choked him for 15 minutes.
Are you talking about Jordan Neely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 people held his legs. You can just go and do you remember? And I'm going to tell you who I think is part of it too. They don't say nothing. But because when it happened, they want it to be a secret, right? This is my take. This is my opinion. It's the people that in office now, these Biden them. Because to me, he was no different. His career and everything that he's done and said, what he's done to black people and the things that he said throughout his career, he's no different than Trump. That's my opinion, right? But when he was running for president, then you see, wouldn't they showing you everywhere the white militias were all the time? Now all of a sudden, you don't see the white militias no more. But if you want to see them, go on YouTube and see how they preparing for. Look and see how they preparing for civil war. I think whenever they come and look at the dude in New York, what they already raised $1 million, 1 million, 1.5 million for his criminal defense already. They get a little money when they do stuff like that. That's my take, and I think everybody know what's going on except us. I ain't gonna say we don't know what's going on, but we refuse to accept the fact that is going on.
Okay.
I don't hide from the fact of what's going on. I'm a believer in if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I prepare for everything. Like, you know how many people I knew when the pandemic hit didn't have toilet paper, paper towel, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had, but they only had a few rolls. I keep about I had enough toilet paper. If I didn't go to the store for a year, I would have been okay with toilet paper, paper towel, water for about a year. All this about a year and a half. Canned goods, rice, beans, guns, and bullets. I have enough. And I think we need to start more. We need to start preparing for that. Peroxide, alcohol, Band-Aids. They are prepared for it. And when Mr. Ford says something about they are trying to start a race war, they are, and and I agree with him. And I think it's gonna come. And if we are, that's why I'm against banning guns, because they're gonna still have theirs. And the reason they have theirs is because they make ghost guns. You know what a ghost gun is?
Yeah.
Like
That's the one they put together. And
yeah, they make the whole gun.
yeah,
they make it.
Yeah.
Like you see these white militias out marching with their guns. They have 3D print machines and they make their guns.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about on that
one. It's well documented about that.
Yeah, they're called ghost guns.
Yeah.
So I'm not giving up mine. And everybody else, including the police, because they were with them, as far as I'm concerned. But Ja Morant, back to Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Somebody need to figure out a way. I don't know. People say his daddy is okay with him doing what he do. They say the shirts that his daddy wear and the things that he said. But you don't throw away your whole career like that. You know, you got a chance to change your life. Or you change your life, your parents' life, in 2, 3, 4, 5 generations lives. You know, you got an opportunity if you chose, but I don't think this is on his mind. But if he chose, he got the opportunity to go back into the Black community and help start businesses, if not start businesses, and hire young Black people.
Right.
You know, but that have to be what's on his mind. I'm not sure that type of thing is on his mind.
I said it like this. We was talking about this yesterday. Like, you know, when I was younger, OG came up to me, stayed on my block, and kind of knew the stuff that he was doing and everything, but he didn't put it on us because he was like, go to school, get an education, be somebody, be better. You know what I'm saying? Be better than me. And we always teach our kids, be better than me. He used to be like, you good, your grades good, you staying out of trouble, give us like $5, $10 when we go to the store, and we on our way. Somebody, and I said this yesterday, somebody needs to sit down with him at OG. Like, he stay in Memphis. You got a dude like Zebo, Zach Randolph. He's still in Memphis. He can sit down with him and say, hey, what you doing right now?
Yeah. Okay.
You messing up. You are messing up.
Hold on.
And the thing about it is that it's not saying that he did. Well, I keep saying people say he did nothing wrong. As far as you can say, Second Amendment right and everything, that he did nothing wrong. Okay, but it's the fact that you are the face of a franchise. People paid a good money to come see you. They don't worry about anybody else unless LeBron come into town. They don't worry about anybody else. They come to see you. You are the main attraction. And so if the main attraction ain't out there, guess what? You're losing out. The franchise is going to lose out on money. I'm just saying. And he do need to stay off of social media. He needs to be around people, and he needs to start hanging around the people that's going to bring him down. That is the main issue right there. The people that he's around, the people that he hangs out with, is constantly going to bring him down to the point where this man going to have a voided contract. He ain't gonna make no money. All the generational wealth that he had just attained within a short amount of years is going to be gone because it's a privilege. It is a privilege to get something like that. It ain't supposed to be given to you. It is a privilege. I'm just being honest with you. It is a privilege to get a contract like that. It is a privilege to play in a league like the NBA.
You know, some Doc, I can say it's a privilege to play in the NBA, but I can also say it's a privilege for the NBA to have a talent like that.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
You know, him having a gun, in all honesty, don't bother me. Dudes say we all have social media pics with guns. That was dude in the chat said.
Yeah.
But when you have had run-ins and they're threatening your money, they're threatening your livelihood. And like I said, I don't know what they say. They say when he jumped on the little 17-year-old young man.
Yeah, when he fought him out at his house.
Yeah, he had a gun. Say when he had a gun, when he went to the store where his mama called him, which I don't know why she would do that. And he brought like 8 friends with him. And he was threatening to kill somebody. Now, nobody saw this, but the guy was like, when he was threatening them, telling what he'll do to him, he pulled up his shirt and had his gun in his. So I don't know, but if he's out there acting reckless like that with a gun, it's going to end up one or two ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, but it's dead or in jail. And see, this more than just a Ja Morant thing. See, we'll talk about Ja Morant because he's a star. This is black. This is the African American community problem. You understand? Right. And then when someone like that who's a star,
right,
who they have made a celebrity, right?
Mm-hmm.
They see him doing it. So now they're going to think it's okay for them to continue. I'm like you, Adrian Cook. I don't go nowhere without my gun either. I don't go.
And that is a, my thing. That is a personal choice. You get what I'm saying? That's a personal choice. Like you riding around, your piece is legal. You got your papers on it. That's a choice. You want to go around there, you could go around there and ride with it. But the thing about it is, what I'm keep saying is that he's the main attraction. He is the star of the Memphis Grizzlies. He is the face of the franchise. He Ja Morant is the one that fills the butts in the seats.
You're correct, but you know, and like I said, he's a microcosm. He come from the black community.
Right.
What he's doing is what we allow to continue to happen in our neighborhood without us checking them. Now, once again, I'm 51. I've been told I'm too old. Leave them alone.
Right.
I still talk to the youth, but at some time you can get to the point like, well, I'm being honest, and it might come out wrong, but go ahead, shoot yourself off. It's on y'all, because can't nobody tell you nothing, and you know everything, and then you want to call and ask someone to bail you out. But see, the bigger thing, like Ja Morant has influence over. Ja Morant has influence amongst our youth, right?
That's it.
So with his influence, our youth, not saying they ain't already doing it. And that's the thing. See, but Adrian Cook, the thing is, you say what I was doing at 24 and 26, I didn't have influence over millions of our children.
Right.
Okay. Can I try something on you, Brother Bakari?
Go ahead, my brother.
Thank you for taking my call, getting me in there. How you doing, Doc, Mr. Ford?
What's going on?
We have a lot of ills in our community. Okay, Ja Morant, he's one of those. He's in that.
Did we lose him?
Willie, you there? Uh-oh.
He'll probably come back in. He might be frozen for a minute.
Yeah. Now, hey, Mr. Ford Bakari, y'all remember, I'm a Cowboys fan, right?
Yeah.
So, remember when Jerry Jones, we brought in Pac-Man Jones?
Yeah, he's from my community.
Right. Remember we brought him in and what Jerry did for Pac-Man was, hey, you ain't gonna go out here and do no stupid shit. So we need you out here on this football field. But I'm gonna give you everything that you need to your disposal. Gave you a security detail. You don't have to be at the club all the time. And even though they had, they let him go and everything, Pac-Man still thanked Jerry for, for everything that he had done, done for him as far as when he played with the Cowboys. Because it was like a personal, like, and I wasn't gonna say white man's daddy and nothing like that, but he looked at Jerry as like a father figure. You know what I'm saying? So nobody, like I said, with the Grizzlies, it's a young team. They don't have no OGs on their team.
And that might be a problem. That might be a problem.
And it's a lot of teams in the NBA that does not have an older player that's been in the league for like 12, 13, 14 years that can pull somebody to the side and say, hey, stop doing this stupid shit. You're going to end up like such and such. You're going to end up like Gilbert Arenas. Like, for real. Like, that's who you're going to end up like. You're going to end up like Javaris Crittenton. He ain't getting out of jail no time soon. Like, literally, what I'm saying is, like, he don't have that influence. Like,
but he got a daddy, Doc.
He got a daddy.
He got a daddy.
And I think, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Ford, I think his daddy is a groupie.
Okay.
And I ain't trying to, it's not trying to be funny, Mr. Ford. I think what I'm saying is his daddy is because Ja is the breadwinner and he got the money, his daddy just playing along, ride along the coattails with him. And that's why I see. Go ahead, Willie. My bad. You go ahead, man. I think Willie's still frozen. and in a sense, like Steven Adams can only do what Steven Adams can do. I mean, he'll OG, but Steven Adams can. I mean, he can put him to the side, and be like, "Hey, man, you in his Australian voice, you're doing too much." Because what he's doing is a reflection to our, it's a reflection on our youth, like you said. And what I was saying is, how can this be a lesson to our athletes at our HBCUs? Like, hey, you ain't got to do that stupid stuff.
Right. Please don't follow this Morant situation. Don't be like him.
Don't be like them.
You got this man. Didn't they give him $200 million?
Yeah, $194 million.
$194 million, and you acting a fool.
And
that don't make no sense.
And he missed getting a Supermax deal because he didn't make the All NBA team, first team.
Yeah.
Well, not just first team, just make All NBA. So it's just the thing, like, dude gotta sit down. You gotta sit down and start listening to people because now, guess what? Memphis got the leverage. The Grizzlies has the leverage on you now. And they can say, well, this is your second time flashing the gun on the internet. And you told us the first time around that you weren't gonna do it, everything's gonna change. And so now it's like we got to do something. We got to be able to do something to let everybody know, to let you know, like we're not taking this as a joke. Baby,
I could see him being traded. I could see him being suspended for the next year. Mm-hmm. I could see him ending up like a Terrell Owens, like a Evander Holyfield, like a Mike Tyson, throwing away $200 million, $300 million. Because this stuff is crazy. This makes no sense.
Right. Ed Bayless, he does have a gun. I mean, he does have a shoe deal with Nike. So he got a shoe deal with Nike.
I think he lost that deal. But this is something else I want to say, right? If we want to be seen different, and I ain't talking about nobody else. Forget how other people see me. If we want to see ourselves different and we want to act like we got power, all those black folks with that money, won't they create their own league? Then we ain't got to worry about nobody coming down your neck and trying to make you be them. I'm just saying, right. They have made enough money to create their own league. And I'm going to tell you something. During the COVID, and Kyrie Irving was complaining about, the players need to have ownership, right? One thing I've told people to stop doing, stop begging other people for their stuff. Now, people don't know me, but the suggestion I gave, if you want your league to work, go to Africa. Maybe the NBA heard me, because while they were complaining about we don't have any ownership in this man's NBA, the white folks in the NBA went to Africa and created an NBA Africa. Do you know why they went to Africa? They went to Africa because they say that's the second best talent in the world. It has passed Europe. They say Europe is topped out, has topped out. What's the guy name who was trying to create one, and none of the black people here wanted to be a part? Serge Ibaka. Like Serge Ibaka is from the Congo. I want to say the Congo. But you find players like Pascal Siakam, who's from Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
But he got here through Serge Ibaka's program. It's three people in the league that got here in the NBA through Serge Ibaka's program. So if
Yeah.
you really wanted ownership, and this is something black people, this is something I've accepted. I ain't telling nobody else to accept it, because I just call it for me how I see it. This is white folks' country. We can say we built it. We can say all that, but we did it with a gun to our head, whip on our back, and heels, dogs at our heels. They came here. They took it from the Native Americans. They gave it an America. They gave it an English name, America. Most of us walk around with white folks' last names saying it's ours, right? It's a tag to show the family that owned you. If they truly wanted power and that ownership that they were talking about, they would have left this continent and went to the mother continent, and they would have had a professional basketball league. That's my take.
Okay. I'm gonna answer this right here, Jeremiah. I understand you said why do we have to have an older player on the team and your father's at every damn game because your father ain't in the locker room all the time. Your father don't go to your that's his job. That is his job. So your father ain't there all the time. You have to have an older dude. You have to have older players to to make sure that you fall in line. Make sure that you get all your monetary stuff in order with your taxes and all this stuff. Like when you listen to these podcasts, um, when you listen to these podcasts, like the Knuckleheads, uh, 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 all the smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, um, you listen to them, and they always these players, these older players, the ex players, or these current players, some current players always talked about having an older influence in the locker room. Like Miami has, yeah, Miami got Udonis Haslam. Guess what? He's retiring this year. He's retiring after this season. Um, like, and I go back to an example. I said this yesterday. Charles Barkley, when he always talk about this, about the two main people that influenced him, that set him straight. It was Dr. J and Moses Malone. Dr. J told him, you can't be like this. You gotta, if you're gonna be a professional, you gotta look the part. Like you gotta look the part. You can't, you gotta go along. You gotta be able to be, you gotta be able to market yourself. You gotta be able for the league to market you. That's what Dr. J said to Barkley. Moses Malone told Barkley, you fat and out of shape. What we gonna do, you gonna lose weight. You can't go to this, you can't go to you can't go to these uh interviews and everything in sweats and everything. We gonna set you up with with a tailor who do suit, give you suit and tie and everything. Get your suit and booty. He praises those dudes because they were his OGs. Even though he was the young man he was the young dude coming out of Auburn that, you know what I'm saying, everybody was talking about. He still found to where older generation pulled him to the side and say, hey, you can't do this. And that's what I think he did when he came up with they did the commercial, the Nike commercial, remember? Is he said, I am not a role model. He meant every word that he said. He meant every word that he said. And other than when he was in trouble in Phoenix, after that, you did not hear anything about Charles Barkley being having something bad said about him in the media ever again. Am I lying or not, Brookhart?
No, you're right. And he said he wasn't a role model, and he's not a role model.
Not a role model.
He's
When
not.
he said that, he said your mom and your dad, your grandma, your grandfather, your family, the people in your family should be the role models for your kids, not an athlete. But now because we live in the day of where the modern athlete has so much influence on our kids, it's, you know what I'm saying, you get kind of see where Barkley was coming from.
Yeah, you can see where he's coming from, because then there's a lot of pressure, because then you're like I said, then you have what's the word I'm looking for? But then you're impressionable, right?
Right.
So then our youth is impressionable, and they looking up to you. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying he's a role model, Ja Morant, or is trying to be. But what I'm saying is Ja Morant is the average black youth of today. Adrian Cook asked in the chat earlier, he said, what were you doing between the ages 24 and 26? I was in this man's military at that age, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I sit here and tell you I ain't never messed up, I would be lying. So, because like I tell my kids, when I talk about my mess ups, I'm telling you about my mess ups so you don't do what I did. At 19, he asked, I tell him at 19, I was facing 20 years in prison, breaking and entering with attempt to kill with a loaded sawed-off. At 19, I didn't squeeze the trigger, and I fortunately got out of that, and I didn't want to go to jail. So I had to switch up what I was doing.
Right.
So I'm not trying to act like I'm perfect, because I'm saying about what I'm saying about some of the things I have said about Ja Morant, I don't even think I've been negative about Ja Morant. He had a right to have a gun.
Right.
He have a right. He in a state where he's in a state where he can carry a gun. Tennessee is probably like Georgia. You probably don't even need a license to buy a gun and carry it on your side. That's how it is here, right? In Georgia, Mississippi too.
Mm-hmm.
But his situation is different because how he has been plastered all over their television and everything. And then our youth look up to him. So I'm not trying to talk bad about him. I would just like to give him some advice.
Right.
That's it. That's it.
Yep. I mean, like I said, it's the thing. Like it's just what you're doing, and you just messing everything up. You're messing up. You're messing up what you just built up in like a few years. Like it's and yeah, keep the business off of social media. You correct, Big B. Keep the business off of social media. And it's crazy, y'all. My stepson, woke up yesterday morning. He came up yesterday morning. He's on his phone and he's like, man, Ja Morant, what is you doing? And my son's 18 years old. Like, what is you doing? And he know, because he's from California. He's from LA. So he knows what it is as far as with, come down to, gang banging and all of the good stuff. But he don't do that. But he's like, what is you doing? Like, and the reason why he said it like that is because Ja is an influence. Ja is an influence on the youth. Yeah, if he didn't have that goatee and that mustache, you would thought he'd be like 16, 17 years old.
And I know 16 and 17-year-olds got better sense than that.
And it just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Like I said, he's in an open carry state. It's cool and everything, but it's just the fact that you're upholding an image of not just only yourself, but an organization, a franchise that basically is investing a lot of money in you. Because at the end of the day, it's always going to end up being about the money. That's pretty much what I got to say.
Yep, over here in this system, and in this world system, that's exactly what it's going to always be. It's going to be about the money all the time. But we have to change us. And like just go back and look and see how many people just black youth killed at graduation parties, man.
Mm.
At graduation parties. My daughter was at one she graduated this year, but she was at one last year, and some broke out, man. And I where I live right now in this area outside of Atlanta and Cobb County where I live, this is May. Ain't this May?
Yep.
And there's been at least 6-7 drive-bys already this year shooting up people's houses. It's like it's the community. It's not just Ja Morant. And I think it's our job to try and talk to the youth. But when they constantly hear people say, don't nobody want to listen to y'all, y'all too old, y'all too old, y'all too old. So then they get that same mentality. Well, I live to get old. And a lot of them on the road, they're not going to live to get old. I want to see them get old and do way better than me, way better than anybody. I want their generation to be way better than what we are.
Yeah. And it's always talked about, like I said, I'm raising my kids to make sure that they do better than me. That's it. I teach my kids, hey, do better than me. Be better than me. Be better than me. But like I said, it's gonna come down to if he wants this, he's gonna have to change up. You gotta wise up. You have to change everything that you're doing. You gotta keep the circle of people that's around you. You gotta change that up too. Because if ain't nobody else is in your ear telling you, hey bro, you need to stop, chill out before you mess everything up.
Yep.
That's what it's all about.
Yep. But hey, Doc, I'm gonna get off of here, man. Thank you for letting me come on and speak, and thanks to chat for listening.
Oh, nah, you good, man. You good. You always good on here, man.
Yeah,
Always.
But I always got to thank you for letting me speak.
Oh, anytime.
As soon as I come,
man, hold tight, brother Picard. What's going on, nephew?
What's up?
Going on?
What's up?
Y'all doing all right?
Oh, we doing good, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good, man, good. Just was reading, in the chat, and at this point, we got to do better as a people.
Mm-hmm.
Someone needs to take, and I agree wholeheartedly with Brother Bakari. Someone just needs to talk to that young man and just give him another perspective on life. Period.
Right.
It's not about so much about the money, just about life, man.
Right.
You're talking to a guy, myself, born and raised in Jackson, raised up in a community called Presidential Hills. When I was a little boy, young man, school age kid, it was a great neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But around 89, 90, HUD moved into the neighborhood and it became the hood.
Yeah.
Lost my father when I was only 16 years old. My dad was 41 when he died. He was a judge. Hey, fortunately, still went to college. Typical college kid, weed head every day. Fraternity guy. Then damn near flunked out. And my mama told me, now that we got to pay for school, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
So joined the reserves, came back, straightened my life out, came back, went to summer school at JSU, catch my hours up, and graduated. But I said that to say this. Sometimes we can allow things to hinder the process. And that process is of being accepted. We've all had, impressionable identity crisis. We've all had that.
Right.
But what we have to understand is there's a bigger picture out here. See, these young men, rap for us back then, and I'm not totally blaming it on rap music now. I'm not going to do that. But rap for us back then was Public Enemy, NWA.
Yep.
But rap music now is killing, blasting, stealing, starving. And, being that I have a 17-year-old son, he allows me to listen to some of that stuff. And I listen to him with him just so I can see what it is. I don't judge it or anything. Some of the little beats I like, I don't know what the hell they say because they be mumbling all the time. And I don't just, in that auto tune, I come from the auto tune where they were singing and not rapping, But I said that to say this. I wish there was a way, being that, I'm in the Memphis area, that we can just get to that young man. Because in order to save the culture, you got to save yourself. And I know this is an open carry state. I know that Memphis is a very dangerous place to stay. But where this young man stayed, he stayed about 10 minutes right out my neighborhood going into their neighborhood from me. And he don't need no gun out this way. Matter of fact, I left my damn, I don't even lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. Hell, I was drunk one night and left my damn truck running. Dragged myself in the doggone house and left my truck running all night. And when I woke up that morning, it was still there. So I said that to say this. In order for us to get ahead, we gotta keep our head in the game. This young man has one of the biggest things that he can do the rest of his life. I mean, generational wealth. Generational wealth. We gotta find a way to get to that young man. We gotta find a way to get to our children at the HBCU spaces. This is about the culture. And yes, we can all say it starts at home. And nephew, I get exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
When you said with his daddy, it's just, hey. Because at the end of the day, when you saw those videos, his daddy hard on his butt, making him, practice and all this stuff. And now his father is basically just reaping the rewards of his hard work and his son's hard work. And I'm sensing that there's probably something that he can't say to that young man.
Because
I wish it was something that he could, because at the end of the day, you, myself, Doc Campbell, Mr. Ford, we from the old school. We still believe in, I don't give a damn who you are. I'm still your daddy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Still your daddy. But, I just, it just, it been hurting my polar heart all day. I had to just leave work, and it was just like that was one of my kids or something that happened to. And I just hope that, God can, which I know he can, just shine his light on that young man, because we actually need that young man. Well, he can begin showing the youth that if you work hard, you can reap the benefits of anything that you do, even outside of basketball and football and boxing and sports and entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
But I just really, really hope that this is a lesson. And I really hope that these little hanger-ons that he's trying to prove himself to, I just pray that they just leave this young man alone, because that young man is a father.
Yep. You got a little girl. That's
Yeah.
right.
I build a lot of me and my son go to a lot of Grizzlies games, and before the game started, he always have his little girl out there dribbling a little basketball. So maybe, just maybe, my prayer is that the young man can really see his impact,
Right.
not only on the culture, but on the world. We have to train our children to say, hey, you're smart enough. You can change the world.
Right.
And even if they don't, let's just say, even if they don't, putting forth the effort is impact. Whatever you do, be the best at it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Brother Bakara tell you, we don't come from that type of society where everything, you mean to tell me you could take a test now from your phone? We didn't have no mess like that. You actually had to go to the library and look up stuff.
Yeah, also they have social media like that either.
Man, we didn't have no social media, man. The internet really didn't become popular to AOL, and that was in the late 90s. And you had to have dial up. And back then you didn't have no printer that was shooting out paper like that. I mean, and we had the kind of paper that you had to tear the little ends off of. You remember that? And then you had to tear the paper again.
Yeah.
So, I talk to my son as much as I can. I let him know, like, son, you should not make nothing less than a doggone honor roll every single time. There's
Yeah.
no way. They even got the earphones and stuff where you could still be talking, and I mean, I'm still a dinosaur, man. My son fussing me all the time, like, Daddy, your phone too old. So, and he always keep the updated phone. That's why I feel like I have to go to work all the damn time just to take care of him. But I said this to say this, panel. I love that we are having dialogue about this, but this should be a sign to us as well.
Right.
That we have to do what we have to do to be better people. I understand the rivalries. We're going to talk junk. We're going to talk noise. Yeah, we're going to do all that stuff. Because I know that Adrian Cook going to say something to just piss me off about JSU. I know this, but it's all in fun.
Right.
But like I said, we just really, really have to go back to that, because we the only culture, man, that, Lord, I can't imagine what this world would be if our cultures just stood side by side. As smart as we are, hard as we work, and how we have to get stuff out the mud. Yes, I had to work my way up to being a corporate executive. But if I was given stories on what I've had to personally go through to get there, we'll be talking to this time next week. But I have to understand, and we all have to understand, it starts with us.
Right.
It starts with us.
And we're gonna land that plane right there, man.
Thank y'all for having me too.
Nah, you good, bro. You was good. You was good, man. I think everybody needed to hear that. What we got today? Oh, today is May 15th. So today is the Jackson State tragedy from 53 years ago. At the hands of the Mississippi State Police, opened fire up on campus, over 400 rounds, 28 seconds, 2 people dead. And now,
I think I was in the 4th grade when that happened.
Nobody never said anything about it until now.
Can you hear me, Doc?
Hear you loud and clear, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, I think I was in the 4th grade when that happened. I think the one at Kent State happened first, or the one at Jackson State. I can't remember now. But I remember when it happened.
Mm-hmm. Israel, he got it in the chat. So if you want to read up on it or watch it, there's a documentary actually on YouTube.
Yeah.
Who it is, who's it on, but it's one on YouTube, and it will tell you everything about the Jackson State. You know what I'm saying?
Was also a shooting at Southern, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. The State Patrol came on and shot some people at Southern University. I can't remember. I think the Jackson State thing happened first, and then it happened at Southern because they were protesting about the amount of money that Southern was getting, the amount of money that LSU was getting,
Oh
and you
yeah,
already know what that was about.
Edwin said, yeah, it was a couple of years later.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I know it today. Yeah, so we pay our respects to the two fallen uh young men that was there at the time. Philip Green and uh I forgot the other one's first name, but last name Gibbs. Uh James Gibbs. James Gibbs was a high school senior at Jim Hill, and he was on his way home from. I think he was on his way home from work, either from school or work. Um, and he got caught in the crossfire.
And Doc, now they also killed some students at South Carolina State. They called that the Orangeburg Massacre.
Yep.
Yeah. That happened in 68, I think.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was that was a turning point, and to watch, I seen the video, and to watch Dr. Peoples, who is still alive, everybody. That man is 96 years old, and give out a speech on campus that says a lot right there. That says a lot. So yeah, man, we just like there's too much stuff going. Around this time there was too much stuff going on. But like I said, it's this is all going to be a lesson learned. Hopefully, we will be able to. We as the older and the younger generation can reflect on this, what happened at our institutions, and just learn from this. Just truly learn from this. But other than that, um, another thing, like I said, last thing I say is about the Ja Morant situation is that hopefully somebody sits him to the side, pull it to the side, and say, "Hey, you need to be, um, you need to chill out. You need to chill out before you lose everything." And for the folks in Florida, if you want to go to school somewhere else, I say go to our HBCUs. You won't be discriminated. How about that, Mr. Ford?
Oh yeah, like I said, I tell people all the time, some of our biggest problems is we spend too much money on prostitution. We spend too much money on over-the-counter drugs and illegal drugs. If we could take some of that money and that we spend on prostitution, we could buy up all the land in South Georgia, and then we wouldn't have to worry about all these different cancers we getting from that food. We could plant our own food.
Hmm.
So yeah, because I'm telling you right now, voting ain't gonna get us out of this. I know a lot of y'all won't believe it is, but it's not. Voting not gonna get us out of this. We got to do this ourselves, and it's got to be scripturally led. But voting ain't gonna do it.
Hmm. All right, so we got some other things coming down the pipeline. We are heading up. We are leading up to our 1 year anniversary for the podcast, for the channel. Um, who would have known I'd be doing this for a whole year? That's crazy. um, we still got some. We still got players to be looking at. still got players to be looking at. We still got players that need to be recruited. So this thing don't stop, and we waiting on for August the 26th. We in Atlanta, y'all. We in Atlanta. But I appreciate you for coming on as always, Mr. Ford.
Oh yeah.
And we gonna shift this on over to Ken Clark in the 1400 Club. So I will holler at you later, Mr. Ford.
Okay, when you coming back?
Might be Wednesday.
Okay, all right.
All right. All right. This is HBCU Tonight in conjunction with HBCU Overdrive. I'm your host, Doc Holliday, where all HBCUs matter. If you haven't done that by now, please make sure that you like this stream. Make sure that you comment, share, and most of all, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. Also, if you want to become an exclusive member, all you have to do is hit that join button. We have 2 tiers, HBCU Overdrive Purple, Overdrive Blue, to get everything exclusive as far as polls, anything that you want to know as far as when I go on live, when I drop videos, all you have to do is just become an exclusive member. I'll be back on Wednesday. If you got any topics you want to talk about, put it in the chat or email me at hbcuoverdrive@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter and just DM me, and we could come up with some ideas as far as for the show. Like I said, we are coming up on 1 year, our 1 year anniversary for the channel. So we got a lot of things that's getting ready to come into play. So make sure that you hear, and we could celebrate, and we could do all this stuff and celebrate in the right way, because hey, this is an achievement of mine that like I said, I got it out of the mud from anybody, me with it, by myself, but with the help of others. So I'm not gonna leave nobody out hanging. But other than that, we gonna be out of here until Wednesday. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe, and most of all, y'all stay dangerous. We are out of here. Peace.